This segment is being sponsored by Mowing and More, proudly serving Wilson County for over 15 years. Give them a call for all of your lawn care, landscaping, and irrigation needs.
All right, this week's Recipe of the Week is being sponsored by Courtney's Restaurant. Man, he does catering, and he's got just a whole line of food in front of you every time you walk in.
You don't
Tom
know what to pick.
Courtney, right there on North Mount Juliet Road in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. You got to go by Courtney's. And they've got live entertainment on Friday and Saturday nights too. So go by and enjoy yourself. Carry your family with you. Carry some friends with you. Introduce some friends to a new restaurant. I think you'll be well pleased with that. Hey, this week's recipe is real easy. Gardens are coming in.
Yep.
Gardens are starting to be, people are carrying baskets out to the garden, empty, and coming back with it just full of stuff from their garden. And this week we're showing pickles. We do a lot of cucumbers. Ladies and gentlemen, we got cucumber vines running up, all kinds of different things that we built for them. But these cucumbers we slice them up and we make what is called bread and butter pickles. These are bread and butter pickles, one of my favorites. I've been eating these since I was a wee, and so they're great for me. We use now Mrs. Wage's seasonings, and you can get them at Walmart, Kroger, Publix, stuff like that. But there's always in the canning section is Mrs. Wage's seasoning, bread and butter pickle seasoning. If you'll follow directions on that seasoning, you can have some really nice, and there's nothing better than chicken and dumplings in the wintertime with some bread and butter pickles. I'm telling you, it just brings back old memories for an old country boy like me. I guarantee you and your family will love them. And we'd like to thank Tom Courtney for sponsoring that. I want to get back for one thing that Sniper Hunting Products sent us through Facebook was a picture today. And you didn't get it, but I did. Of course, you know Sniper Hunting Products makes the trail cameras that we love so much. But he sent a picture and he said, what do you think about this one? It was actually a buck in velvet. And he only had like maybe 7-8 inches of growth on his head. But he was already mounting a doe, which he was already in the breeding process. Now, you being a biologist or studied to be a biologist, I found out that a buck, is able to start breeding the moment his antlers start breaking through the skin in velvet.
Yeah.
His testosterone level is already up enough to actually go through the breeding ritual. And it's just the does may not be receptive, and they might not be in estrus at this time, but the bucks are ready.
Right, and they usually are. I mean, you know, there's a couple of months there out of the year that they're more sluggish and not as apt,
right.
but they're usually ready to go. And I mean, what you're saying is the way, you know, that I always understood it too. When that bone starts to break, they're ready to go. And if there's a receptive doe in the area, which contrary to popular belief can happen at different times, she will continue to cycle in. And while it may be unusual to happen right now, it happens.
When we get back to the tip that you gave just a few minutes ago about the 200-day gestation, backing it up 200 days, I want to also say that I actually got to see a fawn being born on September the 3rd. So you back that up 200 days.
Yeah.
We're in March.
That's right, and that's another way of using that same trick, you know, because I've seen the same thing. We've seen spotted deer, you know, I've seen them even born a little later than that, you know, and it always makes me go back and think, you know, you get to thinking, you're like, you know, deer was bred in turkey season just about.
That's right.
You know, so it happens.
Well, Brandon, here's my deal. The reason I'm saying all this is, with it taking such a toll on the bucks, because when they get into a rut, the pre-rut, the rut, and the post-rut, they are constantly looking for that receptive doe. They don't stop to eat that much. They can really wear themselves down.
There's been bucks that have died.
There's been bucks that have literally run themselves to death.
Yeah.
And we hear about it much in the north where they have these deer yards where bucks will actually starve themselves to death. They will actually just die because of all this. But what I'm asking is, that's a long time. If you got pre-rut being around the muzzleloader season, which is about the 1st of November, and it's all the way to March.
Yeah.
You're
it
talking,
can have a big draw on
you're
there.
talking 5 and 6 months.
Now, of course, they're not feeling the pressure right now that they are. He's not going to run himself ragged right now. That is probably just a single receptive doe, you know, for whatever reason. So I don't think it's going to pull on his health as much, you know, at this point of the year. But it's certainly from November on through well into January. You know, a lot of people think it just stops all of a sudden, it's over, but he's still out pushing hard, and it does drag on him. And then when you get into spring like this, and he's supposed to be lax, and it's time for him to grow and be, you know, you don't really want him running around too much, wearing himself out this time of year. But I don't think it would be as much of a pull on his health as it would be at that point in time. But it's certainly going to take up some of his time for sure, that he should be eating and fattening up.
In your area of expertise and your experience, a doe comes into estrus. When she comes into estrus, if she's not bred within that 5 to 6 days of her estrus cycle, she will again come into estrus 28 days later. Some people say that's the rut, and then you get a second rut later.
Yeah.
But all does don't come into estrus at the same time.
They don't. There's no secret ticket or particular day. Like I say, on a lot of farms, you will see trending. I mean, you'll see where they kind of, it'll trickle in. You know, you'll have 2 or 3 does, and then all of a sudden a big burst of does, and then you'll be trickle your way out of the rut after you trickle your way into it. But yeah, there's not just a particular time. It usually happens kind of a trickle, with a strong point in the middle.
Well, thank you, Brandon, for helping us out there. And hey, it's time for our contest for this week. And what we have tonight is 2 bags of Deer 30 mineral. Now, this stuff is creating a big talk out there because a lot of people are seeing a lot of animals hitting this Deer 30 mineral, and I promise you it will attract the deer. Find you a good location, find out where 2 paths cross. That's a great place to put it. Sooner or later they're going to find it, more sooner than later. But be the 5th caller here at 737-7767, and you will take home 2 big bags so you can start 2 mineral licks on your place to hunt. We'll be right back with more of Southern Woods and Water.